AstroNerdBoy here. Today we're going to go over the top 5 servants that I want in the year 2020. Now this is a list of servants that I want. This is not necessarily a list that you might want. This is not necessarily a list of servants that are the best. But these are the 5 servants that I kind of want to pull in the upcoming year, whether it's a brand new servant or, as in the case of a couple of servants, getting them to, say, NP2. So without further ado, let's take a look. The first servant on the list is Hokusai. She is the second of the 3 foreigner servants that are currently in the game. The reason I'm going for Hokusai is because several people have suggested her in different streams that I've had. And as a foreigner, she's a perfect anti-berserker servant. Plus, she's better than Abby, whom I did pull on her banner. She has a max HP of 13,230 and a max attack of 12,100. She has a 0.33% NP gain per hit and a 3% NP gain when attacked. Her star absorption is 153 and her star generation per hit is 15%. Her traits are servant, humanoid, female, divine, threat to humanity, and weak to Gilgamesh. Her first skill is All Things in Nature, ranked A+. Apply Evade to self for 1 turn and increase own NP gauge, which at level 10 is 30% with a cooldown of 5, so that's pretty good. Self-battery charge. Her second skill is Bonds of a Father and Daughter, rank A. Increase own arts card effectiveness for 3 turns. Increases her own buff removal resist for 1 turn. And increase own debuff resist for 1 turn. At level 10, her arts card bonus will be 30%. She'll have a 100% resistance to debuff removals and new debuffs being landed with a cooldown of 5. Her third skill is Alias, Octopus from Another Planet, rank B. Decrease defense for an enemy when attacking with arts cards for 3 turns. Since she has 2 arts cards in her deck, she can start seriously stacking that defense down, which at rank 10 is 20% with a 6-turn cooldown, so that's also a pretty cool skill. Her class skills are Entity of the Outer Realm, ranked EX, gain 2 critical stars per turn and increase debuff resistance by 12%. Item Construction, rank B, increase your debuff chance by 8%. Territory Creation, rank D, increase your arts card effectiveness by 4%. And Divinity, rank B, apply damage plus for yourself for 175 points of extra damage. Her Noble Phantasm is an arts one. It's called Fugaku Sanjuroku Kei, or 36 Views of Mount Fuji. It is rank A, anti-army, and it has a 5 hit count. Deals damage to all enemies, which at NP5 is a plus 750% damage, 450% at NP1. And the overcharge effect deals extra special attack damage to human attribute enemies, which ranks from either 150% all the way up to 200% at a 500% overcharge. To ascend her and to get her skills to 10, the following mats will be required. In addition to being able to summon her in the upcoming 2020 Happy New Year campaign for NA servers, we will also be able to summon her in the Guaranteed Gacha banner come this summer. The next time we'll be able to summon her will be next New Year's. The number 2 servant on my list is Lancer's Thatch. Now, I already have her at NP1, but I really want to get her to NP2. As we see in the last Christmas event, I was using her to take out this last archer servant. And we get her buffed up here so she can fire off her NP, including getting her quick arts skill 10 up. But as we'll see here, even with a quick chain and her Noble Phantasm, which is amazing by the way, she still comes up just a little short. So, I mean, she still did amazing damage there. It's just, even, like I said, it's just not quite enough. Her quick arts buster deck is actually pretty good. with her max HP being at 14,825 and her max attack being at 11,375. Her NP gain per hit is 0.71%, and her NP gain when attacked is 4%. Her star absorption rate is 88, and her star generation per hit is 12.2%. And we see that she is humanoid, weak to Gilgamesh. She's got the king trait and the female trait. Her first skill, whose name I'm probably going to butcher, is Wisdom of Dunskaith, ranked A+. Apply evade to self for 1 turn, with an 80% chance to increase own's critical strength for 3 turns, and an 80% chance to increase own star gather rate for 3 turns. Her second most important skill is Primordial Rune, which increased quick card effectiveness for an ally by 1 turn, which includes herself, which at rank 10 is 50%. Now, I usually use it on herself to boost her Noble Phantasm, which is also a quick type. Her third and final skill is rather niche, but makes her rather amazing in those niche conditions. Godslayer, rank B. Apply special attack divine damage to self for 1 turn, and apply special attack undead to self for 1 turn, which at level 10 is 100% extra damage to either divine or undead. So with a 5-turn cooldown, and basically she's the perfect anti-Gilgamesh servant. Her Noble Phantasm, which can be upgraded once, is Gay Bog Alternative. It's rank B+. It's a single target Noble Phantasm. Deals significant damage to a single enemy and inflicts stun on a single enemy. Now that stun, just to be warned, is not 100%. I have seen it in events one time where it did not land against a raid boss, if I recall correctly. At MP1, her damage rate is 1600%. So as you see, by increasing her to NP2, that jumps an additional 400 percentage points, which if I had had that in the event, I would have been able to kill that servant with no problem. Her overcharge effect is medium chance to inflict death to a single enemy. Now, if you're getting her for the first time, this is her ascension and skill mat requirements. And as you see, she requires a ton of evil bones and a ton of void dust, as well as quite a lot of feathers, and quite a few hearts. Much like Hokusai, Lancer's Thatch will be available in the upcoming New Year campaign for 2020 for the NA servants. In addition, she'll be available in the Guaranteed Gacha banner that's coming up at the first of the year, as well as the one that's coming up this summer, and then again next year. Speaking of Skathatch, the next servant I want this year is her caster form, where she also goes by the name of Scotty. She has a quick arch buster deck. She has a max HP of 14,406, a max attack of 10,753. She gains 0.67% per hit on her NP gauge and 3% on her NP gauge when she's attacked. Her star absorption rate is 49, and her star generation per hit is 10.8%. She's humanoid, servant, divine, heaven and earth, king, weak to Gilgamesh, and of course female. Her first skill puts her in the ranks of Merlin and Tama caster with her Primordial Rune Scotty skill. This increases quick card effectiveness for 1 ally for 3 turns, increase quick card critical strength for 1 ally for 3 turns. So where Merlin gives support for a buster and Tama caster for an arch, Scotty will do it for quick servants. At level 10, that boost to her quick card effectiveness will be 50%, and the quick critical damage increase will be at 100%, and it'll have a 6-turn cooldown. Her second skill is Freezing Blizzard, rank B. Decrease defense for all enemies for 3 turns. Decrease critical rate for all enemies for 3 turns. That defense decrease is 30%, and that negative critical chance is 30% with a 6-turn cooldown. Our third skill is Wisdom of the Greater Gods, rank B+. Increase NP gauge for 1 ally. At rank 10, that is 50%. So she will work awesomely in a quick team, obviously. Her class skills are Territory Creation, ranked EX. Increase your arts effectiveness by 12%. Item Construction, ranked A. Increase your debuff chance by 10%. And Core of a Goddess, rank A. Apply damage plus for 250 points of extra damage per hit, and increase debuff resist for yourself by 25%. Her Noble Phantasm is strictly a support one. It is Gate of Sky, rank A+. It increases critical strength for all allies 3 times for 5 turns. It applies Evade for all allies 1 time for 3 turns. And it applies Death Immune for all allies 1 time for 3 turns. Her Overcharge effect is to apply incoming damage cut for all allies for 3 turns, which at 100% is just 500 points. But if you can manage to get to 500% overcharge, that's 1500 points. If we hold true to the Japanese schedule, the first time we'll be able to summon Scotty, it will be in the Fate Grand Order Fez 2020 anniversary event. And that should happen this summer, where she won't be available again until the guaranteed Gacha banner in the next new year of 2021. The next servant on my wish list is J Alter, the awesomely awesome of awesome Avenger servant. Like Skathach, I already have her at NP1, however, I want to get her to NP2 for that increased Noble Phantasm damage. She has a max HP of 11,761, which is obviously on the low side, and a max attack of 13,244. Her NP percent gain when hit per hit is 0.83%, and her NP percent gain when attacked is 5%. Her star absorption rate is 29, and her star generation per hit is 6%. She is humanoid, weak to Gilgamesh, evil, a saber face, and female. Her first skill is self-modification, ranked EX, increase own's critical strength for 3 turns, and increase own critical star gather rate for 3 turns. Her second skill is Dragon Witch, ranked EX, increase attack for all allies for 3 turns, and she gives an additional attack increase for all Dragon trait allies for 3 turns. At rank 10, it is a 20% attack increase, and Dragon allies such as Saber Altria will get an additional 20% attack increase, and it has a cooldown of 5. Her final skill is Ephemeral Dream, ranked A, increases her own Buster card effectiveness for 1 turn, implies invincible to self for 1 turn. However, it has a demerit of 1000 hit point damage to self, but you cannot commit suicide with this skill. At rank 10, the Buster card effectiveness goes up by 50%. Her class skills, Avenger, ranked B, increase NP gain when damaged by 18%, decrease debuff resistance for all allies, including sub-members, which is pretty awesome. However, this decreased debuff resistance does not apply to J Alter. Her second class skill is Oblivion Correction, ranked A, increase your critical strength by 10%, and her final class skill is Self-Restoration, Magical Energy, ranked A+, increase NP gauge each turn by 4% for yourself. Her Noble Phantasm, whose name I'm not even going to try to butcher, is ranked A+, with a 10 point, and it's a Buster with a 10 hit count. It deals significant damage to a single enemy, inflict Nullify buff for a single enemy 1 time. At NP1, that damage plus is 600%. At NP5, it is 1000%. But if I can get her to NP2, you see there's a 200 percentage point increase, and that just that extra bit of damage will be quite helpful. Her overcharge effect is to inflict curse on a single enemy for 5 turns. At 100%, that's a 500 points of damage that the enemy is going to take. And if you can get lucky and get her all the way to 500%, it is 2,500 points of damage per turn. Here are her Ascension and Skill mat requirements, and there's quite a few hearts here, but it's kind of spread out across the board as to the stuff that she needs. In addition to her being in the GSSR that's upcoming at the new year, or should be upcoming in the new year, I should say, she will be in the Da Vinci event as one of the rank up servants. Then in the summer, she'll also be in the GSSR for that. And then the next time we'll see her will be in the new year 2021. For my 5th servant, I gotta admit, my choice is not based on need or anything like that. It's purely just I want. Nothing more. That servant is Gene Archer. As you see, I already have a plethora of Archer servants, including Ishtar, Altria, Gilgamesh, Orion, and more. So in reality, I don't need another Archer servant. And yet, I just can't resist going for Gene Archer. She has a max HP of 15,743 and a max attack of 10,525. Her NP percent gain per hit is 0.68. Her NP percent gain when attacked is 3%. Her star absorption rate is 153, and her star generation per hit is 8%. She's a saber-faced humanoid, weak to Gilgamesh, and of course female. Her first skill is Endless Enjoy Summer, rank A. Increase on arch card effectiveness for 3 turns. Apply Invincible to self 2 times for 3 turns. So that's pretty awesome. That arch card boost is going to be 30% at rank 10 with a 5-turn cooldown. Her second skill is Holy Maiden of the Waterside, Dolphin, rank A+. She can increase her own NP gauge, increase her own NP strength for 3 turns. That's pretty good. Increase own critical strength on a field near water for 3 turns, which is rather niche. At rank 10, her NP gauge gain will be 40%, which not great, but you know, could be worse. Her NP damage gain will be 20%, and her critical damage gain, if she's in the right conditions, will be 50%, and it has a 6-turn cooldown. Her third skill is Servant Cheer, rank B. Increase attack for all allies for 3 turns. Further increase attack for all good allies, except for herself, for 3 turns. So much like J Alter, this is exactly what J Alter's one skill is. So she'll at rank 10, she'll give a general 20% attack boost, and then if you've got servants with a good trait, they will get an additional 20% boost with a 5-turn cooldown. Her class skills are Magic Resistance, rank B, increased debuff resistance by 17.5%, and Independent Action, Celeb, rank EX, increase your critical strength by 10%, increase NP gauge by 3% only when on a field near water for yourself. So really, really niche on that. Her Noble Phantasm is an arts one. I'm not going to butcher the name of it, but it is an AoE attack. Rank A+, deals damage to all enemies, which at NP1 is 450%, and at NP5 is 750%. Her overcharge effect is to gain critical stars each turn for 3 turns. At 100%, it's going to be 10, and if you're lucky and get it to 500%, it's 30. And we see her Ascension skill mat requirements. She has a heavy feather requirement as well as some new mats, including Eternal Frost, with a fairly heavy requirement. We'll first see her in the summer event that comes up in 2020, and then she'll appear next winter in the GSSR event. So, what servants are you going to go for this year? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, give me a like. And if you haven't already done so, give me a subscribe on YouTube, where I'm looking to reach 1,000 subscribers. Also, you can give me a follow on Twitch. Just look for AstroNerdBoy. And my anime and manga blog if you're into anime and manga at anime.astronerdboy.com. Thanks for watching the video. We will talk to you next time.